Mercy health professionals received the first doses of the Pfizer vaccine in Joplin. We'll hear from one of them about her experience. Plus, why snow days might be a thing of the past at McDonald County High School.
A new survey from FTI Consulting says holiday spending is down about 4% nationally. But what are we seeing here in the four-state area? You'll hear from a local business and shoppers coming up.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Nursing home residents and frontline workers at hospitals around the country are receiving COVID-19 vaccinations as cases of the virus continue to rise. A panel of experts is expected to vote tomorrow to recommend a second vaccine for approval. Elise Preston reports now from New York.
Vulnerable nursing home residents in Florida have started to receive Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine.
Our residents of long-term care facilities are more susceptible to negative outcomes.
Frontline workers from coast to coast continue to get their first doses of the vaccine.
How's that?
Didn't even feel it.
A shot in the arm, top health experts say, offers relief in the battle against the virus.
We hope the overwhelming percentage of the population will accept the vaccine. If we do that, we will get a veil or an umbrella of herd immunity over the population.
Vice President Mike Pence, Second Lady Karen Pence, and Surgeon General Jerome Adams are set to receive the vaccine publicly at the White House Friday. And President-elect Joe Biden is expected to get it as early as next week. And there is new promise for a second coronavirus vaccine. An FDA advisory panel has confirmed the safety and efficacy of one produced by Moderna, which could be approved for emergency use as early as Friday. As the rollout continues, hospitals here in the Northeast scramble to get shipments of Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine ahead of today's major winter storm. These healthcare workers at Elmhurst Hospital in New York City rolled up their sleeves and tried to build confidence in the vaccine.
You have to do your own research and everybody has to make their own decisions, but not to be afraid of the vaccine.
In Central and Southern California, nearly 90% of ICU beds are full. Governor Gavin Newsom is putting more mobile morgues on standby and sending another 5,000 body bags to hotspots around the state. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Alaska state health officials have confirmed that a health worker there suffered an allergic reaction to Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine yesterday. The drug maker says it's looking into this claim. 6 Mercy employees were among the first in the area to get the coronavirus vaccine yesterday, and now a doctor at Freeman Hospital is getting questions from patients about the vaccine's safety. Dr. John Cox, a cardiologist at Freeman, says he's been fielding dozens of calls and questions from patients, many with pre-existing conditions, wondering if the vaccine is safe. He says some of the concern is from rumors spreading on social media, including things like the vaccine being microchipped and that the vaccine will mutate DNA. Dr. Cox says that's just not the case, and the best information is facts.
The simple answer is the data from 75,000 volunteers in the 2 studies that have been published so far indicate the complication rate is very similar to that of the flu vaccine. You have a little sore arm, maybe an ache in your muscles, maybe a low-grade fever for 24 hours, but that's basically it.
Cox says he strongly believes in the vaccine and is advocating for everyone to get it once it's widely available. The Joplin Health Department is reporting 4 more COVID-19 deaths. They say the patients were 3 men ages 49, 72, 83. Also, an 83-year-old woman died. The latest deaths bring the city's total to 80. The Missouri Public Service Commission has denied a utility disconnect moratorium request. The Consumers Council of Missouri had filed the request seeking to provide relief to Missourians who had been financially hurt by this pandemic. The commission contends it doesn't have the authority to grant the request. Well, Doug Eddy joins us now with our first look at weather. I'm going to say it again because I was just outside running to my car to get something out. It's cold, still cold.
Yeah, it's super cold. We just couldn't warm up for us today. We only made it up to 30 degrees. Really not much of a temperature spread. 27 this morning, 30 during the afternoon. Average high is 47 degrees. One big problem was the clouds never broke, and now we have the clouds. That's actually keeping our temperatures up just a little bit. As the clouds break up and our temperature continues to fall, we'll get near 100% humidity. We'll get to see some patchy fog across the region, so you need to watch out for that. Next storm system pulling into the Pacific Northwest. This will start to affect us late Friday night into Saturday. Until then, we're pretty calm. It's just cold. It's 28 to about 30 degrees. We'll drop back to 26, 30 by 9, 42 by noon. A little bit of sunshine, up to 46, so actually a pretty good day. Of course, we're going to look at our next storm system all coming up here in just a little bit.
All right, Doug, we'll see you then. Thank you so much. We know that most students love a good snow day, but those are going to look a little different now. Over in McDonald County, Missouri, that district has changed how snow days work so that students don't miss classwork, something else that's very important, more important than snow days, actually. Whenever there's inclement weather, they're going to have students stay home and learn virtually, but they're trying to keep things fun as well.
The elementary school teachers that I heard from, they had their students fill out different containers and then measure the containers of snow in terms of inches, so the kids were still outside and engaged. So I think we're trying to find ways to make sure that's still not lost, but yet we're still able to continue learning too.
Now the change only applies to short school closures that are less than 36 hours. The Nevada Fire Department releases information about a building collapse. The department received a call a little after 5 yesterday that this building at the intersection of Cherry and Cedar collapsed. No one was inside at the time. There were no injuries. Thankfully, crews worked late overnight to bring the building down to safe heights so it wouldn't pose a danger to nearby structures. KBI says a Lynn County man intentionally crashed into his mother's car. It happened yesterday in Parker, Kansas. Authorities say the suspect was driving his pickup when he crashed into the car his mother was driving, then turned around and hit her car again. The suspect's mother died at the scene. The suspect was arrested on second-degree murder charges. Formal charges are pending. Still ahead, a new survey showing a drop in holiday sales. We're going to tell you what one four-state retailer is seeing and also hear from some local shoppers about whether their spending habits have changed this year. And later, the latest on a massive snowstorm affecting the northeastern United States.
Live, dine-in only, Chatters, Pittsburgh.
As the pandemic continues to take its toll on the national economy, a new survey from FTI Consulting finds holiday spending is down this year. KOAM's Mike Mahoney spoke to a Pittsburgh business and a four-state shopper, several of them actually, to see if they're experiencing this trend.
According to a new survey from FTI Consulting, American shoppers are spending about 4% less this holiday season, while 80% of survey respondents are committed to shopping more online compared to last year. That might sound like bad news to a store like Pittsburgh's Gorilla Country, which doesn't sell things online. But owner Steve Scott says this year hasn't been that bad.
Our sales they're better than I thought they'd be.
Steve says he keeps his sales records confidential, but believes the fact that he sells products associated with a popular school like PSU has helped him weather the pandemic.
People love Pitt State, they love the university, and they like to show off their pride through their apparel they wear.
This four-state business may not be seeing a 4% dip in holiday spending, but what about local shoppers? I asked some at Pittsburgh's Meadowbrook Mall to find out.
We're actually spending probably more on other people than we are ourselves this year, because there is so much hard times out there. So, you know, what we can give back to the community and to our friends and schools, we do.
This year I've definitely went a little harder than last year, I'd say. Started my career this year, and that was one of my goals, was to make sure I had a better Christmas for my family this year.
Probably about the same.
What about you?
I spend more this year.
So you're spending more compared to last year?
Yes.
Have you just had a good year, or are you just in a...
We just had a good year.
In Pittsburgh, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
FTI Consulting also found that online shopping is not up because of COVID-19 concerns, but rather factors like convenience, low prices, and free shipping. Students at Irving Elementary in Joplin are in the holiday spirit, and they're sharing some of that spirit with the Ronald McDonald House. Kids at Irving participated in Spirit Week, in which they came to school dressed up as a different Christmas theme. Each day they dressed up. They brought in items for the house, things like microwavable foods, also gift cards. The Irving Student Council chose to give to the Ronald McDonald House.
The kids actually started researching local agencies to help out, and they came to a consensus to help out the Ronald McDonald House this year. And they had the idea of having a Spirit Week of school, and each day we dress up as a fun Christmas theme and then bring an item for the Ronald McDonald House.
Kids say they chose the house because they care for people there and they know their needs are great. Good job, guys. Some Joplin healthcare workers received breakfast on the house today. Specifically, Longhorn Steakhouse today served free pancakes for Freeman Health System employees. It was Longhorn's way of saying thank you during this pandemic.
So one of our core values is that we're good business citizens, and without the community rallying behind us, we wouldn't be here today. And it's one of the reasons we're America's greatest steakhouse.
Employees were treated to that breakfast at Freeman West until noon today. Doug is up next with his complete forecast, and later a storm that left our area with just a dusting of snow. It's packing a bit more for folks in the Northeast.
Happy
Well, of course, it turned out to be a very cold day for us today. Temperatures struggled to warm up after the storm system that rolled through yesterday, of course, gave us a little bit of snow, about a dusting to half an inch across the region. Officially, just shy of a half an inch at the Joplin Airport. Then we had a little bit on Sunday. Of course, our southern counties have had several inches of snow this winter. We averaged 12, which is not near as much as what we used to average 30, 40 years ago when we used to average 16, 17 inches of snow per season. Of course, with the climate warming, as far south as we are, it's hard to get snow. Temperatures kind of all over the place. Last week, we were in the 50s, 60s, even set a record high, 75 on Thursday. And then we've struggled to get above 40 degrees over the past several days. Eventually, we are going to reach that mark, and we should do it by tomorrow afternoon. Great shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course. Indigo Sky just outside of Seneca, Missouri. It is cold, 28, 29, 30, 31 degrees across the region. We'll drop back into the mid-30s later on tonight. 31 right now. Humidity is at 42 or 82%. West winds at about 5. So the winds are light. We have moisture on the surface, which means we're going to get a little bit of patchy fog, especially the areas that have a little bit of snowpack. So areas along and south of I-44 will get the thickest fog. North of I-44, patchy, thick fog, but be careful if you are going to be out and about throughout the overnight hours tonight. Above the surface, we still have some clouds, nothing underneath the clouds, but these clouds are slowly breaking up behind this storm system that rolled through. It's producing a major winter storm up the eastern seaboard, really from Philly, New York, Boston, all the way west over toward Pittsburgh. A lot of areas getting 1 to 2 feet of snow. Our next storm system is in the Pacific Northwest. This will start to bother or affect us and bother us by Friday night into Saturday morning. For us tonight, watch out for the fog. It's going to burn off pretty quickly. We'll get some sunshine tomorrow. That's going to allow our temperatures to warm up quite a bit more. We should go into the mid-40s. So 26 to start, 42 by noon, then a high temp right around 46. The winds are going to be light out of the south at about 5 to 10. Clear skies tomorrow night until late tomorrow night. We'll start to get some clouds in here. This is ahead of our next storm system. Most of the day on Friday is going to be dry. It's going to be warmer. We're going to be into the 50s, but we'll start to get a little bit of rain in here Friday night. Just some light showers into Saturday morning. And there is a slight chance a few flakes of snow can mix in on Saturday morning before it exits off toward the east. Behind it, we just kind of have a cool, cloudy Saturday, and then Sunday will shape up pretty good. In fact, Sunday looks good. Monday looks good. Tuesday looks good as we approach 60. Next system in on Wednesday, which is the 23rd. May get a little bit of rain, maybe a little bit of snow. Doesn't look like a big deal. I would say our chances for a white Christmas are extremely slim, but it is going to be cold on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, very similar to what we have outside right now. So I don't know. Either way, you can take it. We're not going to get the snow, but it's definitely going to be on the cold side. 46 for us tomorrow, 53 on Friday, 47 on Saturday, up to 60 by Monday. So we do get some pretty good days in here.
Yeah, and good days for hot chocolate too, right?
Absolutely.
That's the most important part. Doug Heddy, thanks as always. Like Doug was talking about earlier, a winter storm is now moving through the northeastern U.S. By the morning, as much as 2 feet of snow could be on the ground in some places. Naomi Ruckham reports now from New York.
Some 70 million people in the northeastern U.S. are hunkered down for what's shaping up to be a long wintry night. On Wednesday, a storm system that began in Colorado stretched from Ohio to North Carolina all the way north to Maine.
We haven't had a major snowstorm in Boston since March 3rd, 2019, over 21 months ago.
Some areas are bracing for as much as 2 feet of snow. Cities and states throughout the region declared emergencies ahead of its arrival.
If it's not one thing, it's another. This is our first weather emergency of this pandemic.
Here in New York, the snow started falling as the sun set Wednesday afternoon. It's expected to intensify by midnight and continue right until dawn. Officials warned that gusting winds could lead to widespread power outages. They also said the pandemic could impact their response.
There may even be times that just a single lane is open for travel on some roadways. This is due to the snowfall rate per hour, but also because state and local public works officials have some driver shortages due to the coronavirus.
Pennsylvania is due to receive a large shipment of the new COVID-19 vaccine on Thursday. Governor Tom Wolf said the delivery is a priority for the state, and he said it will happen as long as it's safe to do so. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
That's something. All right, still ahead, a former Webb City Cardinal is set to join the Wildcats in Manhattan. Plus, the Missouri Southern men and women taking on Missouri Western. Good to have highlights.
Doug.
Webb City High School running back Devin Weathers is headed to the Big 12. Weathers signs today to join the football program at Kansas State. There's no doubt he's one of the best in Missouri. Weathers rushed for more than 1,700 yards this year, adding 28 touchdowns. He's the COC Offensive Player of the Year and was a first-team All-State selection. He knows he has a special opportunity to play at a Big 12 school, but also knows the place he comes from is pretty special too.
I honestly wouldn't want to grow up anywhere else. I think that Coach Rod implemented something really special in all of us, and I feel like that's something that we need to carry on. Friday nights are always just a great feeling, seeing the stands packed with all Webb City fans.
At Joplin High School, another dude headed to Division I. Alex Curry signs today to play at Southeast Missouri State. Curry has been a first-team All-State selection as an offensive lineman for the Eagles in each of the last 2 seasons.
It feels great. It's a blessing, and I can't wait to go play at CMO. It's a good environment, good culture, and I love Coach Duke and all those guys down there. So it reminded me a lot of Joplin. Felt like home, so I'm just ready to go down and do some work.
Jonah Hensley also signed today at Joplin High School. Hensley will continue his swimming career next season at Midway University in Kentucky. The Missouri Southern Lions will be on the floor on Saturday, hosting Missouri Western. For the Lions, it'll be their first game in 2 weeks after tomorrow night's matchup with Northwest was postponed. Now, on the men's side, this one will be a good test for Southern. Western is 4-0 and has made it up to number 19 in the national rankings. Now, the Lions lost 4 of 5 starters coming into this year, so obviously needed some guys to step up. And so far, that dude, Stan Scott, has been a big one. Through 6 games, Scott is averaging 14 points and 5 boards per game, shooting a team-high 55% from the floor.
Stan has really surprised us, and that's what we needed. We needed somebody to come and step up and replace everybody that we lost, and I think Stan's done a heck of a job. He's playing with a lot more confidence.
Feels good. You know, Coach knew what I can do is just the timing, so my time came and taking advantage of it, and we're doing good as a team. Overall, we're going to just focus on keep getting better.
The Missouri Southern women have also been pretty good lately. After dropping their first 3, they've bounced back to win 3 in a row to get to 500 through 6 games. They're winning, but they're also having fun. After 2 weeks off, they're ready to get back at it and try to stay rolling against Missouri Western.
It's definitely been more fun here. Like I said, we all want to get in the gym more now because we see that it's helping. So we're like, oh, the more we get in the gym, the more we can win. So everybody's just enjoying our time together.
The kids are playing with a lot of confidence. The bad part is we had we're going to miss a game against Northwest, so we're extended as far as almost 2 weeks from our last ball game. Practice have been good. They've been competitive, and that's what you want. You want kids to come in and want to be able to compete in practice every day and enjoy coming in. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran, Corporal Larry Tapana Jr., the Webb City, Missouri native, served in the U.S. Army, and we are very proud to salute and to thank Corporal Larry Tapana Jr. He is tonight's four-state hero. To learn more about all of our four-state heroes, just go ahead and log on our website. All right, take a look at how police in Peru are getting in on the holiday spirit. This newly released video shows officers on a drug raid while dressed in Santa and elf costumes. Yeah, this is real. You can see them breaking down a door before pinning a man to the ground and putting him in handcuffs. The Peruvian National Police who shot the video say 4 suspects were arrested for dealing drugs. Authorities say they found cocaine-related products, marijuana, also a pistol. The squad is known for dressing up. Back in 2016, the unit also went on a raid dressed as Santa and elves. Back in 2016 as well. Spreading holiday cheer. That was pretty funny, wasn't it? Spreading holiday cheer and busting the bad guys as well. Doug Ketty with the final check of the forecast. Go ahead, man.
All right, it's going to be cold tonight. We're going to drop back to about 25. We're also going to have some patchy fog, so watch out for that. Better tomorrow. At least sunshine returns. We'll go back into the mid-40s, 50s on Friday. Some rain moves in Friday night. A little bit cooler Saturday, but most of the weekend looks pretty good.
All right, Doug, thank you, and thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you tonight with a look at Christmas lights in Chanute's Katy Park. See you tomorrow. Have a great week. Have a great night.